Hello there, thank you so much for joining me. Today's another one in the series of my art stash, and I'm going to do a little bit of a colour and chat in this old book, Colour the Rainforest by Marty Woods. I was very lucky in that I had this gifted to me by Robs Lipner. She's a very good colorist and she's in lots of the Facebook groups, and I was looking for the book and she gifted it to me, so I was very lucky, and I haven't actually colored in it yet. So I belong to another Facebook group called Coloring Book Color Along, and we tend to do color alongs like buddy colors of books, of pictures. And this particular picture came up, so I decided to join the color along for this. I do hope that the light is all right. Very bad weather today. It's all dark and rainy and miserable outside, and our country also, as well as lockdown now, we're also without power for 2.5 hours, so I can't even use my light, and I thought I would color. Anyway, all beside the point. I wanted to use some of my watercolor brush pens that I have. I have various ones that I've either bought a few at a time, or else I've got some in subscription boxes and things like that. So I wanted to use that, and this is normal paper, so I went over the paper with what is called watercolor, transparent watercolor ground. This is Daniel Smith. It's, I don't know if you know what gesso is, but this is sort of a little bit like gesso. It's fairly runny, and you put it on the page and it kind of seals the page. Just need to close it so it doesn't dry out. I apply it to the page. I normally put a dollop on with a little palette knife, and then I use a damp foam brush and I rub it down like that. So I would do one layer, then be very careful to wash your brush off, leave it to dry, do another layer, leave it to dry, do a third layer, leave it to dry overnight, and that seals your seals your page off. It ends up, this is a bit curvy here, but it will flatten when the book is closed, but it ends up making the page feel almost like canvas. It's quite nice, and it's rough. You can hear if I rub my hand against a normal page, and now I'll rub my hand here. It's kind of got a slightly rough texture. Anyway, enough about that. The brush pens I've got various other ones as well, but the ones I'm sharing with you today these are the only ones of these that I have, the Tombow brush pens, which I love. I wouldn't mind at all having some more, but as usual, we wait for the finances to join us. Some of these are actually bought in Germany when I was there 2 years ago visiting my son. And then I bought the pastel set, so that's those. Then I have a collection in a big thing, plastic Tupperware type thing. I've done a color chart. I have various things here. I have quite a number of Ecoline brush pens, which are lovely. Quite a lot of them, let me see. So some of these I got first in subscription boxes, and then I liked, so I bought a few more. I don't have the full set of any of these, but I think I've got enough of these to keep me busy for longer than I can imagine. And the trouble is, you know, you get all of these art supplies and then they sit there and you don't use them. So that's why I decided I would use these today. So these are all of these Ecoline. Look at that. Lots and lots of them. Okay, so let me move those off to the side. Big noise. What fun. Oh, they're so pretty. And then I have these Fabriano. These are Caran d'Ache Fabriano. You get some brush pens and you get some fiber tipped pens. So I thought when I ordered the fiber tip, I thought I was getting more brush pens. So those are the brush pens, and they're very nice because they're quite a fine tip. And then the Fibralo is just a normal fiber tip. They're all water-based though, so I quite enjoy using those as well. So I'm going to plonk all of these back here and just color and chat for a little bit, and then we'll see how we go, and then that will be that. So here is my, oh, and then I've got some more, sorry, in here. These are all like Lone Rangers, where I don't have many of them. What I really love but have hardly any are these Caran brush markers. They are fabulous brush markers. Look at that, that's another one of those. Should have been. So of the Caran ones, I've got, I think 3. No, 4. They are really nice. Oh my goodness, let me show you the nib there. And I think I'm going to definitely use, let me take that one out to do one of the flowers with. Then I have some Jane Davenport water brush pens, which I've hardly used. I bought myself a set. You don't get them in South Africa, so I bought them from Amazon. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those. I think they're called mermaid brush pens or something. Then some of these, what make are they? I think these are glittery. These are Kuretake ones. Yes, some of them are glittery. And some of them are just, they're called Wink of Stella. And this one is called a midliner. It's a double pointed one. So you've got this kind of a fiber tip, and then you've got the brush pen. This very fine, it's quite a nice one, called a sign pen. And this is an orange, and it's a very fine little brush pen. It was also in a subscription box, and this was also in a subscription box. Oh, these two are graphics. They look quite a lot like the Tombows, don't they? But they're smaller. I've got some other sets of graphics pens, but these came in a different subscription box, so they're all in this collection here. And this is a pink shiny, and I don't even know what make, but it's called Rose Quartz. Let's see what it looks like, shall we? Quite pretty. So I'm going to keep this piece of paper on hand to try things out, and I'm going to pop this one behind here to make sure nothing bleeds through, although it normally doesn't bleed through at all with the watercolor ground on it. And I'm going to start with a pale, I thought that was like the sun shining out behind stylized clouds. So there was I had put out here, this is a plain blender, and I'm going to use a very pale, let me use 2 blues, a darkish blue, and this is a very unplanned coloring. Elizabeth just doing her thing and having fun. Oh, that's a purple. Better not use that. Oh, it's not a purple. Just shows how totally things don't always look like, see how blue it comes out, and yet it actually looks purple when you look at it there. Our country, South Africa, is busy. They gave us kind of levels of lockdown. So it started at level 5, which was very strict with the terrible no alcohol, no cigarettes. So luckily for me, I'm not a smoker, I'm not a heavy drinker, but I do enjoy my wine. So I found the no alcohol quite trying, especially when you're feeling like you can't go anywhere or anything. It would have been nice to have a glass of wine with a meal, but anyway, it was fine. We got through that, and then it went to level 4, still no alcohol, still no cigarettes. Then it went to level 3, and they brought the alcohol in where it is now. You can buy alcohol from Monday to Thursday from 9 o'clock to 5 or 4:30 or something, I'm not quite sure. And I think that's too bright. And the cigarette sales, I think, are still not around, so shame. I think I have a friend that's a smoker, and I have 2 friends actually that smoke, and we all know it's bad for your health, etc. But I mean, if you are addicted to cigarettes and you are smoking, I think it must be very, very hard coping. But other than that, our schools are busy going back little by little. At the moment, two of my grandsons are homeschooled, so they have no problem at all. The other one is he's 8 now, and this is just the blender, and I'm going to pull the color out. And his school is going back, so at the moment they're going back 3 days a week 1 week, and twice a week the next week, so that they've divided the classes into 2, and they all have to sanitize and everything. The high school where I used to work has only got the grade 12s back to start with, and then they now brought in the grade 11s are starting to come back. So it's all quite scary and worrying, waiting for all of that. I think I'm going to leave this like that. I think this maybe needs to be blended out a bit more. But what I like here is that with the watercolor ground, this actually ends up working like as if it's watercolor paper. So the whole watercolor effect and everything, the way, no, these lids don't want to stay there. The way the paint or the ink works on the paper, and that you can move it with water. I love that, because when you use these water-based products on normal coloring paper, they're very streaky and not so much fun for me to use. And yet I actually love doing this like this, and I decided I've done quite a few things with water-based brush pens or watercolor because it is quicker at the moment than pencil. And I felt like getting more pages done. I'm always so slow with everything. So that's there. I was so excited that my channel reached 400 subscribers, and today, as we speak, today is, because the video will probably only go up on Sunday, as I'll have to edit it and everything. Today is Friday the 10th of July. It's at 407, so I really am delighted. I don't really know how to use these, so I'm just fiddling my way along and trying to do the same as I would with alcohol markers, which is to go over the darker color and then bring that out as well to try and get a blend. How do you all feel about, please let me know in the comments about, once one starts coloring, you think you found this lovely inexpensive hobby and all of a sudden it ends up costing you an arm and a leg and half your grocery money, because all of a sudden you see somebody's got this and somebody else has got that and their picture looks better than your picture, and now you decide, oh, you're sure your coloring would be so much better if only you had this or if only you had that, and you end up spending so much. And it was fun in the beginning wanting all these new things, and now I actually find it a strain. So I'm trying to use what I have and bring them out and do more with them, hence using the older books instead of always a new book, a new book, a new book. And I'm going to be doing, if I hope that you would like it, like some page throughs of some of the older books I have, and maybe you also have that book and you'd forgotten about it and you see the page through and yay, you don't have to spend any more money and you can feel inspired to color in it again. I'm not sure. I think I need to clean this off now, and I think maybe go in with this again. I think that's, do you think that's all right? I hope so. There we are. My other family that's in Germany, they are very lucky because they live on a farm based in a very small village, so the whole lockdown issue has not been so bad for them, luckily. All right, so those were the Tombow brush pens. Now, I am very keen to use the Karen brush marker. There is a blender here. I'm going to see, there's this green and then there is a yellow. I'm going to see how it works just with the green and the blender. They're such beautiful, rich colors. I'm going to just put this down so I don't go smudging things. The rain is pelting down outside, which is fantastic because not so long ago we had a drought, so there've been such strong winds and trucks blown over. I've just gone out to the lines here. Very, very, very juicy. So after raving about these pens, I ended up making a total mess of these two leaves, and so I've sped this little part of the video up, and I try with the leaves again later in the video, and then I try again, and then I finally fix them at the end of the video, so do not despair. I still love these Karen brush pens, but I think that I need to practice with them a whole lot more and possibly not be speaking at the same time as doing them because I can't get my eyes close enough, and I went out the lines and I just made a horrible mess. Anyway, I've decided to divide this video into 3 parts because the picture took a long time, so this is the end of part 1. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you've enjoyed it, and I hope you'll join me for parts 2 and 3. I wish you a wonderful day. Stay warm, stay cool wherever in the world you are. Stay safe and stay sanitized. Thank you. Goodbye now.